Women have been conditioned by society to be, act, and think a certain way. Here at Girls IRL, we encourage women to challenge societal norms and embrace their femininity. With that being said, let's get into this week's episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Girls in Real Life podcast. I'm your host, Mariah Clayton. Welcome to the new house. Oh my gosh, y'all. First of all, it has been like 2 weeks since I've even talked to you guys, and I am so sorry. I completely underestimated how stressful and how out of whack I would be after moving, and I genuinely thought, yeah, I'll be able to like get an episode up and record, and I'll have time to edit and do all this stuff. Girl, like who did I think I was? I have no idea because I haven't had time to do anything but try and get my house together and take care of Ace, honestly and truly. So I want to apologize for missing 2 weeks. I hate that, but life happens and things happen, and y'all knew that we were moving and we had a lot going on. So thank you so much for the grace, but I'm happy to be back. There's been so much that has happened over the past 2 weeks. As you guys know, we moved and we closed on our house. We had Ace's first birthday party, which was so much fun. And now we are like deep in the process of getting our home together, still unpacking a few things, getting like the floors done and painting and all kinds of home improvement projects. So we've had a lot going on over here, and I'm going to update you guys on everything today. I really do think this is just going to be kind of like an updated episode just because, like I said, I haven't talked to y'all in a few weeks, and I feel like there's just a lot that I need to get off my chest. So anyway, starting with the elephant in the room, this is not my new podcast setup. This is just a little corner of our master bedroom. Our master bedroom is probably one of the only rooms in the house that is actually somewhat together. So I was like, I'm just going to record here for the day, but I'm actually going to have my own little studio space in the garage because, sorry, my ear is itching if you're watching on YouTube, but there's a little space in the garage that has like AC units and all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of just like a closed in space. And so we're going to make that kind of like my podcasting studio. I'm really excited to kind of decorate it and have a space that is designated just for me, my podcast, content creating, and all of that kind of stuff. So stay tuned for that. But this is just where we are for the time being today. I mean, this is like a cozy little spot. We had this exact setup in our other home in like a corner of our room. And I never recorded there for some reason, but it's a nice cozy little spot. So I hope you guys like it. If you guys follow me on Instagram, then you kind of know or have been able to keep up with more so on like the house updates and what's been going on in my personal life. But we've got pretty much all the floors done. The floor guy is actually here now working on the living room and the kitchen area today. So if y'all hear any loud banging at any point, that is him, and I'm so sorry, but he's working on that today, and then he'll only have to do the stairs and my little office, and then I think we'll be done with floors for now. We haven't touched any of the floors in the bathrooms just because we have, how many bathrooms do we have in this house? We have 4 bathrooms in this house. We're gonna completely renovate like our master bathroom at some point, girl, because that's not in the budget right now, but we're just like not dealing with that at the moment. And then all the other bathrooms are actually already pretty updated. Ace's bathroom is fully renovated already, and the other upstairs bathroom, the only thing that we need to change in there is like the toilet. And then the downstairs bathroom, we're trying to do like something kind of cool and funky with it, like maybe do some wallpaper or something. I don't know. It's just one of those bathrooms that's probably going to be used the most by the guests in our house. So you want to make it kind of cool and funky looking. But yeah, that's all to come. We have painted all the walls in our house this nice Greek villa color, which is kind of like a warmish white, and I don't really know how else to describe it. We've gotten trees cut down, we've put TVs up, we're trying to put beds together for like our guest bedrooms and everything. So there's just a lot going on, and still a lot that we've accomplished, but there still is a lot left to do. So it's just like honestly a never ending process. But if you guys want to stay more up to date on the house and what's going on in my personal life, definitely follow me on my Instagram, because I feel like I post on Instagram the most. TikTok is kind of cycling out at the moment. I mean, I don't really know if they're going to get rid of TikTok, but if they do, like Instagram is where I'm at most of the time anyways. So I'm actually doing a series on my Instagram, and I'll probably put it on TikTok as well before, it goes away. But I'm doing a series called Turning My House into a Home. So it's taking you guys along on all of our home renovation projects, picking out decor, furniture, all the like finishing touches and things like that. I'm really excited. I already posted the introductory episode and then the actual like first episode. And then I'll probably post another one like next week. I don't know if I'm gonna do once a week for the series or if I should just like do it whenever. I feel like I have a lot of content already in my phone and I just have to put it together. But yeah, anyways, that's kind of like all the little house updates, I guess, that I'm going to give you guys. Like I said, there's still a lot to do, but we're moving along slowly but surely. I feel like I've just been struggling kind of processing everything that's going on right now because there's so much happening at one time with the move and the renovations and Ace's birthday. Like, I just feel like I haven't even really had time to process everything that has happened in the past 2, almost 3 weeks. And honestly, I don't know how to feel about that. Like, I feel like I haven't been able to be very present and like in the moment because I'm always concerned about like, okay, I got this going on and I got this going on and I got this going on. So like I can't really sit in my feelings for too long and process everything because there's always something else to do. And I don't like that feeling. So I'm really trying my best to just kind of take time to myself and really process my emotions and my feelings. I've been writing in my journal again. I feel like ever since we moved, my routine has kind of been all out of whack because when we first moved into our house, we knew that we were going to have like a lot to do. So we didn't stay in our house for like the first 3 days, even though we had already closed on it. So we ended up staying at my parents' house, which was a whole nother thing. And like, it was just a lot that was happening. And like staying at my parents' house and not being able to feel really like settled or a good word, like secure, I guess. Like I didn't really have a space of my own. I didn't really have room to myself or like time to myself, and it was just like so much. And I'm really just trying my best now that everything is kind of slowed down a little bit to kind of process my emotions and my feelings and what's been going on, because I really do need that time. Because if I don't process stuff, then it's just kind of like I'm just going through life and not actually living life and not actually feeling my feelings and writing down my thoughts and speaking them out, even just speaking them out loud on the podcast. So it was just a lot for me to be able to get to the point where I'm at now, where I feel a little bit more settled. I feel a little bit more like I can get back into my routine. Lord knows I haven't worked out since we moved out of our house 3 weeks ago, so I need to get back on that. But I have gotten back into writing in my journal, reading my Bible, kind of waking up a little bit earlier than Ace. I haven't been waking up at 5:30. I'm not even gonna lie. I have not been waking up at 5:30, but I have been waking up at like 6:30 every morning just to get Ace's bottles ready for school, wake him up, spend a little bit of time with him before we send him off to school and stuff like that. So it's going to be a process, and I'm trying to give myself grace for kind of falling out of my routine and not beating myself up so much about it, because I feel like I was in a really good rhythm at one point, and now like all of my hard work has just kind of like, I don't know how to say it. Like I have to start back over at ground zero basically, because like I haven't run in weeks. And so now like when I do decide to start going to run again in the new neighborhood, like I'm gonna have to be starting back from like ground zero pretty much and getting back into my working out and all that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit frustrating, but I have to remember that like this is just the season that I'm in and everything is changing and nothing is going to really stay the same right now. And it'll probably be a little bit of time before we feel truly settled like in our new home. But I need to just continue to do the things that I know are going to keep me centered and grounded and kind of just like sane, honestly. I know my hair is in a little bun right now, but I did get a haircut. If you guys follow me on Instagram, then you saw that. I actually wore this shirt in my haircut video that I posted on Instagram. But I was telling you guys, well, I don't know if I was telling the podcast or if I was telling my Instagram story, but I was just so like not feeling my hair anymore. Like it was just very long, but it was just like one dimensional. Like it was all just one length. There was nothing really special going on. It was just kind of like whatever I felt like doing with my hair that day, I would just do it. And a lot of times I would just be honestly frustrated and annoyed with my hair. So I was like, you know what? I just need a haircut. Like, I haven't had short hair in a minute. And I honestly just feel like I need to chop my hair off and just kind of fall back in love with styling my hair and doing my hair again. And that's exactly what I did. Okay. So my hair is probably like to my shoulders now, whereas it used to be like kind of way down here, like by my boobs a little bit. But now it's like very short. And I honestly thought that after I got my hair cut, I would just want to wear my hair down all the time. But I keep going back to like my slick backs because it's just so easy to do. And honestly, with everything going on and all the like chaos that's happening in my life, like I just need my hair to be simple. I don't want to be washing my hair, styling my hair, finger coiling, doing all of that, diffusing. Like I can manage maybe one day a week of doing that, but after 2 or 3 days with my hair down, I'm like, okay, it's got to go up. It's in my face. Ace is pulling on it. I'm getting paint in it. Like, it's just too much. So she's been in a bun, honestly, all week, but I'm not mad at it. But I did just want to let you guys know that I did cut my hair. So when my hair is down in like future videos on YouTube, then that is why. Moving on to my birthday, y'all, because why is my birthday this episode is going up on Monday. So why is my birthday 2 weeks away? Why is my birthday 2 weeks away? Like, I don't like this. If you guys listened to my birthday reflections episode last year, then you know I'm always kind of just like not anxious when my birthday rolls around, but I do a lot of self-reflection around this time of year and really just kind of like look back on the past year and like everything that has happened. And I guess maybe I do get a little bit antsy around like my birthday because to be honest, like I don't want to be old. Like I don't want to be old, and I know that like that's so stupid to say, but like that's just how I feel sometimes. And in my heart, I still feel like a 16-year-old little girl, honestly, but I know in reality, I am about to be a 28-year-old grown woman with a child and a man and a house. So, like, I can't pretend to be 16 no more, for real. But yeah, my birthday is coming up very soon. So, I've been brainstorming my birthday photo shoot with Bailey, who is my photographer and also like one of my really good friends. And I want to tell y'all what I'm thinking? Okay, I'm gonna just tell y'all because I need help. I really need help. So every year for my birthday, I kind of like to do a themed photo shoot. And I've been doing this kind of like for the past 3 years. So when I turned 26, I did a Skims inspired photo shoot. And then when I turned 27, it was supposed to be a Seven Rings inspired photo shoot, like the song by Ariana Grande, because I was turning 27, so Seven Rings. But I was very freshly postpartum. I was kind of like a month postpartum probably. And I didn't want to like book a photo shoot, and I really wasn't feeling comfortable with my body and all kinds of stuff. So I just kind of did like an at home thing, which was still fun and still cute. And I had my friend Kennedy make me a Seven Rings birthday cake. So it all came out cute. But this year I'm turning 28. So I want my theme to be 28, like ATE, like she ate that, but not even really like she ate that, but more so like ate food. so so I texted Bailey the other day and I was like, stick with me, okay? I want my caption to be 28, like ATE, and I want the theme of my birthday shoot to be like Last Supper vibes. So I want it to be like a long table full of food. I want the photos to be kind of like me crawling on the table or like messily eating some type of food, some type of cake. Like, I don't know. I just have a vision in my mind and I think that it could be so fire. I just don't know like how to bring it to life. Like, I don't know what outfit I'm going to wear. I don't know where I'm going to get a long, nice table. I don't know how I'm going to get like a lot of food to put on the table. Cause like now we're getting expensive, right? Like now we're talking like you got to buy props, you got to buy food, you got to buy your outfit. And it's just becoming a lot. So we're trying to brainstorm like where would I be able to take photos like this? Like a venue that maybe I would be able to go to. And in my mind, I'm thinking like a museum because like I don't know. Like there's just all this old stuff in there and I feel like it can be really dark and moody and it could look kind of cool, but then I also don't know like what kind of museum is going to let me come in there with like a whole bunch of food and like like I already know that that's not even a thing. So I'm trying to research places like somewhere that I would be able to just like bring my vision to life. And I just have no idea. And I don't have that much time to like get it done. So I need to really figure this out because leave it to me to wait till the last minute to try and get my photo shoot done. So that's my birthday theme for my photo shoot this year. So I think it's gonna be really fun if I can pull it off. I think it would be honestly really iconic. And yeah, I don't really have plans, like actual plans for my birthday, just because, again, there's just a lot going on. And I haven't even had time to really think about my birthday or what I want to do for my birthday. So it honestly just feels like the photo shoot is going to be it and maybe like a nice little dinner with Justin. But I really don't know. I just don't know. I need to think about it. I don't think I want to do anything like too over the top, but I do want to, be celebrated and like do something nice for myself because your girl survived a lot this past year. Okay. I spent the whole last year being a mother. And now that I'm like fully a year postpartum, they say it takes 2 years to get like back to your normal self. So I honestly just feel like I'm slowly climbing out of the darkness that is postpartum, and really starting to feel like myself again, like honestly and truly. And I feel like I've said that at different points before, but now like I'm really feeling it. So I'm excited to see what like the new year is going to bring for me and honestly just see like what 28 has in store. I honestly feel like like once April rolls around, like I don't know if it's because like my birthday is coming or if it's because like it's Aries season or like daylight savings time is here. Like I don't know what it is about this time of year, but this time of year always feels like my rebirth, like my coming alive again. And I don't like every year I just always have this realization that like, okay, yeah, the new year is nice and cool and all that. And like January through March, we trying to get ourselves together and stick to our goals and all of that stuff. But for some reason, when April hits, like I just feel like that is almost kind of like my new year. Like this is like the actual start of what's going to set the tone for the rest of my year. And I don't know what it is. Like I don't know if it's with the seasons changing and like spring coming. I genuinely don't know, but I did see a TikTok video a few weeks ago talking about how like spring is supposed to be our new year. And this girl, like she went off on a whole tangent and this girl was talking about how there should only be 28 days in each month so that it's an equal set of days in each month. And so I don't even know what she was talking about for real, but she was like she was saying a lot. Like she was like really trying to be one of those woke videos, but basically she was saying that like historically like spring is supposed to be our new year because obviously like with the seasons changing and like everything coming alive, like this is the rebirth. This is the actual start of the new year is basically like what she was saying. And I feel like I resonated with that so much because I do feel like, this is my rebirth. This is when I come alive. This is when I feel most like myself. This is when I feel like I'm like grinding and on the go and getting things done and accomplished. Like, I don't know what it is. Like every single time this time of year comes around, I'm always so busy. I always have so many things going on. There's always something brewing. And yeah, it does kind of feel like my new year. So, like I said, I'm excited to see what this second quarter of the new year is going to bring because as y'all know, like January through March is like the first quarter and April through June is the second quarter and so on and so forth. So I am really excited to see what this second quarter is going to bring. I can already tell you it's going to be exciting. And I do have a very exciting announcement coming on April 1st. It's not going to be a joke, okay? I'm not playing with y'all. But I know that I've been teasing on the podcast that me and my sister have been working on a passion project and we've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. And the time has finally come for us to like share it with y'all and with you guys. So I'm very nervous, but I'm also very excited because like I said, this is a passion project for the both of us. This is something that is very near and dear to our hearts. And it's something that is for the community. So it's just, I feel like it's going to be a really rewarding journey. And I'm very excited that I get to do this with my sister. She is my rock. She is like literally just everything, and I'm so grateful that we get to go on this new journey together. So I'm very excited to tell you guys more about that on April 1st, which is that next week, Charlie? Let me look at my calendar. It's not next week, it's the week after next, because next week is the 25th, which is the day that this episode is going up. So yes, by the time you guys are hearing this, April 1st is next week. So you'll have 1 week to wait until the big announcement. So yeah, the podcast is definitely probably going to hear it first because my podcast drops before everything else on like my socials. So if you guys really want to be in the know, subscribe to the podcast and you will know what the big news is. But I just really hope that like, I just want it to do well. I really hope you guys see all the hard work that we put in behind the scenes, because we have been working hard. Like I'm talking logos, websites, trying to get people to invest in the vision. Like it has been a lot of work going on behind the scenes, and I just honestly cannot believe the time has come for it to be out into the world. So big announcement coming soon, stay tuned. But aside from that, I don't know if you guys have watched Quiet on Set on, well, we watched it on HBO Max, but you can watch it on Hulu too, I think. But anyways, it's basically about Dan Schneider and how all of the shows from our childhood were rooted in some kind of like sick sexual joke. And Drake Bell came out and talked about like his experience with sexual harassment, and there was all these like pedophiles who were working on set at all of these Nickelodeon shows, and how the female writers were like, you know, basically being sexually harassed like at work and on the job. And it was shocking. I was shocked. Like when you look back at that kind of stuff, like when you go back and like watch the shows or even see the clips that they were showing on the documentary, like when you're a kid, you're not processing that kind of stuff. Like you're not processing that this is, you know, something that's inappropriate or something that is rooted and underlined in something that is not for kids, right? Like you just think, oh, that's funny. Like she got squirted in the face, or oh my gosh, like Ariana Grande trying to squeeze the juice out of a potato. Like it's stupid, it's silly, and it's not like it went over our heads basically because it was supposed to, because we didn't know any better. But it's the fact that like these adults were like writing these things for these kids and making them do that and then airing it on television, not for us, for the kids who were watching it, but for the literally gross pedophilic people that are out there that like get off on that kind of stuff. And it was absolutely disgusting and like eye-opening, and I feel so incredibly sad. Like I literally was crying watching that documentary because it's just like all of our happiest moments and memories of those shows are some of those kids' worst nightmares. Like it was, I just honestly cannot believe. I just cannot believe. And like to think that Dan Schneider is roaming free and like not in jail, to think that Drake Bell's predator was only in jail for like 6 months after all the things that he did to him. It blows my mind that like there are not better laws around this, because like these are kids. Like these are literal genuine children, 12 years old, 14 years old, 16 years old. Like it just, it makes me so sad. And honestly, the part that freaking messed me up the most, and honestly probably everybody, this is the part that probably messed everybody up the most, was when Drake Bell's dad knew that like the guy that harassed Drake Bell, his name was like Brian or something. I like don't even want to say his name, but his name was Brian. Drake's dad had a feeling that Brian was like going to do something to harm not just Drake, but just like kids in general. So Drake's dad was like always around him. Whenever Brian was with Drake, Drake's dad was like with him. And eventually Brian ended up driving a wedge between Drake's dad and Drake. So Drake's dad ended up not being his manager anymore, and his mom kind of took over. And the one thing that Drake's dad told his mom was that don't leave Drake alone with Brian. Like, you need to always be there. He doesn't need to be alone with Drake. He doesn't need to hang out with Drake. Like, you need to be there with Drake if Brian is there. And the fact that his mom let Drake spend the night at this man's house multiple times and like just completely disregarded what Drake's father said and kind of opened the floodgates to allow this to happen to Drake. Like, I don't want to blame anybody because honestly the blame is only on Brian, but like, she opened that door. Like, she allowed them to get that close to where he could get his hands on Drake, and it was just sickening, and it was so sad. And the fact that Drake's girlfriend's mom is the one who figured out something was wrong within like 5 seconds, and Drake's mom had no idea what was going on or was just kind of oblivious to the situation. It's just like, come on now. Like, that's just not okay. It's just not okay. So that's the part that like really made me the most mad. And then the part that broke my heart the most was when Drake called his dad and was like, hey, you know that guy Brian, like, he's finally in jail. And Drake's dad was like, oh my gosh, I'm so relieved. Like, I'm so glad that he wasn't able to get his hands on you. Like, I knew something was up with that guy. And Drake literally could not tell his dad that he is the one that was being molested and abused by this man. And oh my God, it just makes me want to cry. Like, because being a mom, like, I just could never imagine. Like, I would never be able to live with myself if I knew something like that happened to my child and I could have done something to prevent it, you know? Like, it's just sad all around for everybody involved. And I'm really glad that they showed that documentary to kind of open up all of our eyes, because I had seen the TikTok videos about Dan, you know, being obsessed with feet, but like, I didn't realize that it was all of this, I guess is the best way for me to put it. Like, yeah, when I saw those TikTok videos, I'm like, yeah, that is weird. Like, he has an obsession with feet, like all these weird kind of like scenes. But when you really look at like the history of every single one of his shows, and like you go back and look at all the jokes and look at all the inappropriate things, and like you see it with a new lens as an adult, it is just shocking. It is just shocking. So if you haven't watched Quiet on Set, I suggest that you do, just so that you can be open and aware of like what is going on with the kids in the acting industry, because it honestly is just very sad. Like I said, I watched it on HBO Max, and I think it's on Hulu. It might be on Amazon as well. But I really don't know. But anyways, on to something more positive, and this is probably the last thing that I'm gonna talk about in today's episode, because honestly this was just like a very chit chatty episode. But Eternal Sunshine, okay, my girl Miss Ariana, my girl. She dropped her album, and let me just say, I have not been listening to anything else ever since it dropped. It's been on repeat. This is such a good album, and I honestly am just so happy, because I didn't think that she would give us an album again until after Wicked. So I'm really glad that like she blessed us with this beautiful album. And it was such a journey to go on, because when she first announced the album and it was called Eternal Sunshine, I was thinking it was going to be more like Eternal Sunshine in a way of, I don't care about the haters, like, I'm gonna be shining in my own light, like, I'm not letting you dim my light, like, I have this eternal sunshine. I thought it was gonna be that very like self-empowered kind of vibes, and especially when Yes and dropped, I was like, this album has got to be her I don't give a F what anybody thinks about me album. Like, this has to be her like, I'm lifting myself up type of album with Eternal Sunshine. And when I listened to it, the way that my heart just like broke in pieces. Like, this is truly a body of work, and it was just nothing that I was expecting, but everything that I needed. So if you guys haven't watched any of her like interviews about the album and stuff, her album is a concept album based off of the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which I've never seen it, but Jim Carrey is in it, and maybe I need to watch it so I can kind of understand the album on a like deeper level. But it's a concept album based off of that movie, and it is a concept album, but also like the songs are kind of based on her true life, but she kind of wrote it from a lens of like the movies aspect, if that makes sense. So anyways, it's basically just like this journey. Like honestly, the album is a true journey. It starts with a question and it ends with an answer, and everything in between is just kind of like the emotions that she's feeling. And it's kind of like a breakup album, honestly. And when I was watching one of her interviews, she was saying that she wanted to name it Eternal Sunshine because of like the what's the word I'm looking for, the ironicness of it all, I guess. Because like you view Eternal Sunshine as just kind of like this great amazing thing, like sunshine all the time, but in reality Eternal Sunshine is kind of like you're living in ignorance of the reality of what's going on. And so it's just kind of like this ironic message and concept. And so the whole album to me is just kind of like a breakup album, and her going through the emotions of her breakup with like intro, and she's like, how do you know if you're in the right relationship? Like, isn't this something that you're really supposed to know and feel it in your bones? And so she's kind of questioning, like, how am I supposed to know if I'm in the right relationship? And then she goes into bye, where she's like, boy, bye, like, I'm leaving, it's over. You know, I'm gracefully gonna take my things, pack them up, and like leave, because I know that this relationship is no longer serving me. But then the song right after that is like, I don't want to break up again. So she's like going through all these emotions of like, I knew that I needed to leave, and I needed to leave for myself, but like I'm still feeling all of these emotions. And like, yeah, I'm upset because I don't want to break up again. And like, you wanted to try, but you wanted to try too late. Even like, I wish I hated you, you know, going through the process of like, this breakup is so hard, and like we didn't really end on bad terms, but if we did, like, it would have been so much easier for me to move on, because if I hated you, then I would be able to just like wipe my hands clean of you and just like go forth with my life. But because I don't hate you, and because, you know, we ended amicably and peacefully, like, I wish I did hate you. And like, I hate to say that, and I feel guilty for saying that, but I wish that I did. And it's honestly just like this beautiful masterpiece of an album that you can tell she put so much thought and energy into. And like, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. It's just everything. It's honestly just everything. And I feel like I could relate in so many ways. Because I feel like everybody has gone through a breakup in their life where it's just kind of like, you know, you need to leave, but like you're still going through the emotions and dealing with the feelings of like what it means now that you have left. So honestly, all around great album. I hope it wins album of the year at the Grammys next year. You know, I'm wishing on that for her. And I know people, you know, have their mixed thoughts about Ariana and the fact that she took that man's husband and whatever the case may be. But like, you know, we don't know the full story. And I'm not saying that what she did was right, and I'm not like defending her, but we don't know the full story. And that's all I gotta say about that. Y'all can't make me hate Ariana. Y'all just can't make me do it. But anyways, I honestly, you know, I really don't have much to say in this episode. Like I said, this was just like kind of like a life update, and I don't want to bore you guys with just talking on and on and on about stuff that you probably don't care about. I know a lot of you guys are here for very specific type of content, very like inspirational, women empowerment, advice. Like, I get it, and we're gonna get back to that, I promise. But I just had to fill y'all in on what's going on, and this is just my season of life, okay? And I really do like to have my podcast episodes line up with what I'm going through in my life at the moment. So this is just what y'all got this week. I'm sorry. Okay. Next week will be like the big announcement, and I'll talk into more detail about that, about doing things stupid and doing them scared, and doing them in spite of, you know, not knowing how to do it. So that'll be a really fun episode. The week after that will be my birthday reflections episode, and like what I learned in the past year. And then from there, I don't really know. Like I said, I don't really plan very many things when it comes to the podcast. I just kind of let my life lead me in the direction that I need to go when it comes to this. So, but thank you guys so much for listening. Those of you who do care about the ins and outs of my life, who support me for just being me, who want to listen to what I have to talk about regardless of what it is, I genuinely appreciate you guys so much. My podcast is like my little family, my very special part of the internet that I hold so, so dear to my heart. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this episode. I love you so much. I hope you have a great Monday, a great week, and I will talk to y'all in my next episode. Bye.